Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the Ace Frehley of board game review shows, because I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. Speaking of that Space Ace, let's take a look at Space Space, the Emergence of Pluto expansion from AEG. Wait, I am sorry. I hate to interrupt a musical components montage, but as you can tell, there's not a lot I can show you about this expansion. There's just not. And that's because the game has a lot of spoilers. The game has a lot of secret material. It's kind of like a legacy game. There's stuff you don't open until certain stuff happens. There's a story that unfolds with this kooky expansion here. And so I can't really tell you or show you that much about it. Now, what I can tell you is this is a game of Space Space, just like you played before. It's a great game where you roll die, you buy cards, you collect money and other goodies on your turn with your die roll, and other people's turns on their die roll. So it's just a great game. If you've seen my review of the base game, you know what I'm talking about here. But this game is, as I say, story-driven. This expansion is story-driven. It takes a story, and you unlock certain aspects of the story as you play the game. You can gain certain cards, access to certain cards. There's these story cards that come out, and once you complete that part of the story, you move on to the next one. You move on to the next one. Sometimes there's prerequisites to move on to the next story. For instance, you need to roll a certain number, maybe spend some of your gold or what have you in order to unlock that next card. So you go back and forth, you do these things, you're trying to unlock these cards, and you get eventually access to mystery boxes that have mysterious stuff in them that, again, I can't tell you about. So I'm not going to tell you too much about rules here, other than what I just told you. Instead, let me just tell you what I think about this kooky new expansion. Basically, let me tell you, Space Space is not a game I would have expected this kind of an expansion from. I would think they'd just, an expansion would just be maybe more cards, and that'd be it. But no, this new box has, like the story cards I mentioned. It's got mystery boxes that have really interesting things in them. And you have, of course, some more playing cards that come out. You also have some more dice that come along with this expansion as well. But this whole idea of a story aspect, almost a legacy aspect to the game, it's just not something I was expecting for Space Space. Now, you can, it does, even if you don't want to do that story, it says, there's still components in there and stuff that you can, once you play through the story, I should say, you still have stuff. So it's not like you just play through it and then boom, it's all gone, it's all destroyed. You can still use stuff. Or can you? Yeah, I'll say yes. So it's just very unusual. Now, I loved Space Space. I think Space Space, the base game, is awesome. And to be perfectly blunt, it's kind of one of those games I thought doesn't really need an expansion. I think it plays great the way it is. Because I love the base game so much. But with the expansion, there is some new and interesting stuff. It's a fun new way to play the game. I don't know that it's going to be everybody's cup of tea, because it is a little bit out there, a little bit weird in some ways, and to be perfectly blunt, sometimes it's not easy to advance that far, because like I say, certain aspects have to trigger, certain events have to trigger, certain die have to be rolled, and the stuff has to happen in order for these things to unlock, and sometimes they don't unlock, so you don't necessarily get as far as you would like in the story. Still, if you play Space Space a lot, and you're looking for a way to mix it up, to make it different and exciting, I think you're going to get a kick out of this one. If you don't play it that often, if you just pull it out once in a while, I don't necessarily think you need this one. So it's kind of really just I guess, how much you play it and how much you want new flavor with the game. So the recommendation for the discriminating gamer for the Emergence of Pluto expansion is a positive: try it before you buy it. Thank you for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer. And you know, folks... Oh. Hello? Just a few more hours. Well, then I'll be right home to you. Look, I think I hear them calling. Beth, what can I do?
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Oh, yes!
Well,
sweet.
Only